All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a technology that's, well, it's quietly gearing up to totally change how we own pretty much everything. It's called tokenization. And believe me, it's about to turn the entire world of high finance investing on its head. So, to really wrap our heads around how big of a deal this is, we got to start with a look at a very exclusive club. You see, for centuries, the world's most valuable, most iconic assets, they've been locked away in a world most of us only ever get to read about. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Have you ever walked past some incredible skyscraper or seen a priceless piece of art in a museum and thought, man, I wish I could own a piece of that? It's always felt like a total fantasy, right? And, for the longest time, it was just a fantasy. Getting into these kinds of investments, we're talking millions of dollars, teams of lawyers, and you had to know the right people. It was a private club, and the membership fee was astronomical. That is, until now. Okay, so this is where it gets really cool. This is where our key comes in, tokenization. That's the technology that's picking the lock on this exclusive world. It's what's finally making these incredible, once untouchable assets accessible to, well, pretty much everyone. So what is it exactly? Let's break it down. In the simplest terms, tokenization is the process of taking the ownership rights of a real-world asset, think a building, a gold bar, whatever, and converting those rights into digital tokens. And these tokens, they live on a blockchain, which is basically just a super secure shared digital record book that everyone can trust. And the process itself is actually pretty simple when you think about it. First, you take a real physical asset, let's stick with that gold bar, and you secure it. Then, its value gets digitally chopped up into a bunch of tokens. Each one of those tokens represents a tiny, provable piece of ownership. So, instead of needing, a huge pile of cash to buy the whole gold bar, you can just buy one token that represents a little slice of it. Easy. And this is where your mind can kind of start to run wild, because the range of what we can do here is just massive. We are talking everything from that Picasso we mentioned, to giant skyscrapers, to gold, and even a piece of your favorite local bike shop. Seriously, if it has value, it can probably be tokenized. So you see, this isn't just about opening the door to a few new assets. No, tokenization is rewriting the entire rule book for how investing works. There's a quote from the material we looked at that I think just nails it. It says, "It's like having a magic, always open financial bazaar in your pocket." And that's perfect, right? The market isn't someplace that shuts down at 5 p.m. anymore. It's global, it is always on, and you can get to it right from your phone. And when you put the old way and the new ways side by side, wow, the difference is just night and day. Traditional finance, you're stuck with 9 to 5 hours. You've got all these middlemen taking their cut. And waiting for a trade to actually settle, it could take days. The tokenized way, it's 24/7. It's direct, you to me. It's pretty much instant, and anyone can get in on it with fractional ownership. It's just a huge, massive upgrade in how things work. Oh, and this next part is a really big deal. We're talking about liquidity. See, traditionally, big assets like a building are what we call illiquid. That just means they're a pain to sell quickly. You can't just decide to sell, the master bathroom of your house when you need some cash, right? But with tokenization, you actually can. Well, sort of. You can sell a few tokens that represent a small piece of that building, and you can do it instantly without having to find a buyer for the entire property. It's a game changer. Okay, now, as exciting as all this sounds, let's pump the brakes just a little bit. It's not all sunshine and rainbows just yet. We have to be realistic here. This is still a new technology, and there are definitely some big challenges ahead. For starters, you've got regulators and governments all over the world still trying to figure out how to handle this stuff. We need really clear legal rules. We need super secure ways to connect the blockchain to real-world information. Those are called oracles. And of course, the tech itself is still evolving. So yeah, these are some serious hurdles we've got to get over before this goes truly mainstream. But here's the thing. Even with all those roadblocks, the momentum it's just undeniable at this point. And if you want proof, look no further than Wall Street. The absolute titans of finance, they aren't just watching this happen. They are jumping in with both feet. Yeah, this isn't some sci-fi theory about the future. This is happening right now. The biggest, most established names in the financial world are already actively tokenizing assets. They see which way the wind is blowing, and they're getting on board. I mean, just look at this list. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BNY Mellon. These are not little startups messing around in a garage. These are the pillars of Wall Street. And why are they doing it? Because for them, this is just better business. It slashes their costs, it settles trades way faster, and it opens up brand new markets. It's a straight-up fundamental upgrade to how they operate. Which brings us to the big final question, and honestly, this one is kind of mind-bending. Just how big could this all get? The numbers being thrown around are, well, they're staggering. Okay, so by 2030, sober-minded experts are predicting that the market for tokenized assets could be worth somewhere between $2 and $4 trillion. And yes, that's trillion with a T. It's just an absolutely enormous number. But wait, in what some of the source material calls a more optimistic or maybe even hype-fueled scenario, that number could explode to as much as $30 trillion. I mean, that's a scale that's almost impossible to even wrap your head around. And so that leaves us with one final big idea to chew on. We are standing right on the edge of a world where every single valuable thing, every building, every company, every piece of art could become its very own 24/7 global market. Just think about that. What does that future actually look like? Well, that is the multi-trillion-dollar question.